So hopefully the the music already started, so everybody can enjoy it. This is the new kind of like, I mean, they updated it. I don't know if you see the changes, but there is like all sorts of like, I mean there are like, you know, final details that were added. Just to say something, there are, I was just kidding, there are no Titans in Iran, Titan females, and there are no Titan females in Israel as well. What actually happened is that in Israel you have hybrids. I speak a lot about hybrids. Hybrids are both men and women that ate the tea in tremendous quantities. So, but hybrids are not Titans. It's not the same, even though they manifest the same behavior many times. And it's a lot of it is cultural actually, not like biological in the strict sense. So what actually happened? So we see here, we see Lakat Chelayam 6872 and Lakat Chel Avir 6872 and Lakat Chelayam 1997. So something like that happened. What's happened is that, you know, that what happened is that, as I said, the Israeli Titans, they had a problem because after they were liberated during the early 80s, they betrayed their savior. In the Home Alone scenario, they speak about a lot. And they were punished by, and I speak about that by punishment and how, like, I mean, eventually they died, like, I mean, and, like, you know, in Gilgul, I always forget the English term for Gilgul, role, I mean, but I mean, not like role in a movie, but, you know, just, I mean, like in a spiritual sense, that, I mean, that is very common in Eastern religions, but also in many inside, you know, Christianity, Judaism, and even Islam, they believe in it, like, it's kind of, it's very universal, like, they did it, I mean, after you die, your soul, I mean, transfer to another new body. So I mean, they went to Gilgulim, but I mean, after like a period of punishment, and at the same time there was a group of Titans in Iran, females, not that big but quite big, maybe 100, I don't know. It was about the same, like the same amount was in Israel in there. So what actually happened is that after the revolution, they started the process where the Titan females in Iran, they felt that, I mean, they felt neglected because they didn't, like, I mean, I try to I really try to kind of, you know, out of respect to all of the involved, I try to, I mean, to choose the very, you know, decent words, but I mean, maybe sometimes, I mean, sometimes it's easier for everybody, I mean, not to use the most decent, like, words. So please don't be offended where I mean, whether you are, you know, Israeli, Iranian, American, Titan, Muslim, like Jew, Christian, I mean, you know, maybe you're from like totally different planets, maybe Saturn or Jupiter or maybe even in our solar system. So try not to be offended, but I mean, I'd like to keep it short. So I mean, many times Titan females, when they are not educated correctly, they are sluts. I mean, I don't have like a better way to put it. Like, I mean, they become probably like sluts. You know what are sluts, right? It's an issue of education. And many times they weren't educated well in Israel because, or another place that went through the grades, because the culture in, first of all, the culture in Earth is not, I mean, it was never the best. And also, there were many times they were kidnapped like, as like a very young children or babies, and they grew like among adopted families of people of the intelligence community. That is true in everywhere, all around the world, and it's still true. I mean, despite those, I mean, after this, they were Gilgul, like the role, like in new body, like, I mean, and it can be any family, but I mean, originally the adopted families were people that related to intelligence communities, like I mean, an example of such a family, even though it's very non-exemplary example is my own family, of course. But I discussed it a lot, that they're actually very different, I mean, than usual. And not that they're all great. I mean, I'm like the biggest critic of my parents. I mean, believe me. And it's demonstrated even like, you know, in the Zigod of Ur saga. But yes, they are different, like, I mean, substantially different, like, I mean, what you can find in Israel. So, and I mean, and these families all around the world, I mean, doesn't matter if they were Iranian or Israeli or American, they were, I mean, these people are, they lie for, I mean, for their livelihood, like, I mean, that's the profession is to lie and to deceit, like, I mean, and it was always like that since forever, and it's still like that. I mean, they're not good, very good people, like, you know, in general. I mean, they tend to be very, like, deceitful and lying, and also extremely materialistic. And this is actually not true for my own family, like my own parents. This is different. Like, my family is kind of, I mean, different in a lot of ways. And one of the ways is that both parents, the father and the mother, they were never very materialistic. But intelligent people all around the globe, you should understand, it's a known secret that, I mean, they work mostly for, I mean, their main incentive is money. It's everywhere. In Israel, of course, it's kind of like, I mean, ridiculous, like how much they kind of like chase mammon, you know. They are kind of like caricatures, anti-Semitic caricatures, but I mean, in real life. But everywhere, I mean, you know, don't forget about James Bond or like James Bond or like Bourne, what's his name, Bourne, like this Special Agent Bourne, or I don't know. I mean, forget about it. I mean, you know, for England James, like, you know, forget about for England James. I mean, people, I mean, they like money. I mean, everybody knows it since long ago. It's not like that. So these are mostly trash families. I mean, what can I say? It was always true. I mean, all over the world. And I mean, it's not nice to hear it because these people are currently the main subscriber of this channel because it's blocked to the public. So I mean, I actually speak like to these people right now, but I mean, yes, you're trash, and I mean, when you adopt children, mainly, I mean, they grow up to be trash adults because education is the most important thing. And anyway, so they were sluts, and they didn't like find like the new climate very, I mean, as conductive to sluts as before. Not that they had any problem with, you know, Islam. Iran was always Islamic. I mean, since, I mean, not always, but first, since long ago. I mean, it's not like in a moment everything changed. It's ridiculous to think that. But some few things changed, especially how they use the gates, or more so how they do not use the gates. And also the issue with Israel that was not incredibly important, but behind the scenes it's got the importance because it's related to the usage of the gates. Anyway, after some time, so of course they stayed in Iran, and they decided after some time that, I mean, that they don't really like, you know, they don't like the new kind of, like, I mean, arrangement where they can, it's much more difficult to be slut, and